Ralph Russo from the Associated Press has a pretty banger article where he crunched the numbers. He looked at preseason AP top 25 polls. He then looked at the rankings of the final college football player from 14 to 23. He used those rankings as a guide to see, okay, how would the 12 teams have been seeded? And then let's compare to how accurate the initial top 25 would have been. Over the 10-year span of the college football playoff, 9 teams on average in a 12-team playoff would have begun the season ranked by the AP. So 9 of the teams that would eventually make the playoff, 9 of the 12 would begin the season ranked. So there's a good chance that out of the top 25 currently, 9 of them will end up in the playoff. The AP's preseason number 1 team would have made the 12-team playoff every single season. 7 times they would have earned a first-round bye. So basically, it is a guarantee that Georgia will get into the 12-team playoff, and it is a near mathematical guarantee that Georgia will get a first-round bye. The AP's preseason number 2 would have made it 12-team playoffs 8 times, with the exceptions being 2019 Alabama and 2021 Oklahoma. And of course, that 21 season was crazy because, you're coming off of COVID and nobody knew what was up. In 22, that was a weird year. 5 teams would have gone on to make a 12-team playoff that started the season unranked, including obviously like TCU. But then last year, Mizzou was the only unranked team that would have made a 12-team playoff. So there's some variance here. So again, let's just deal in averages. So 9 of the 12 will make it, 3 will not. Aaron, do you have a play on who is unranked right now that could make a 12-team playoff?
Unranked right now that could make a college football playoff?
Yeah. Well, if you want, I can give you a grouping of teams.
Give me a grouping of teams. Give me a grouping of teams.
I'll give you the athletics grouping. They actually wrote an article about this before the AP dropped this yesterday. They have Virginia Tech, Iowa State, Louisville, West Virginia, Texas State, UCF, UNLV, Rutgers, Wisconsin, South Florida, SMU, Tulane, and Fresno State.
Give me Louisville. I'm leaning towards someone in the ACC.
So not Virginia Tech, because I kind of leaning ACC as well, but I kind of like Virginia Tech.
Okay. We both agree ACC though.
Abard says West Virginia. The Big 12's wide open. I mean, yeah, the Big 12 also is very open because I think you're going to have a bunch.
Yeah, but I think the Big 12 is only going to get a bunch of. I think the Big 12 is only going to get 1 team in though.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying but I mean, look, you remember a couple of years ago when 3-loss Kansas State beat TCU in the Big 12 championship? Like Kansas State would have gone to the playoff.
Yeah.
And that's a year where they lost to Tulane at home. So I could see a West Virginia, you could have a 4-loss Big 12 champion or a 3-loss Big 12 champion that just manages to find their way to the championship game, win, and then they're in. I think Tulane's kind of interesting as well. They would have made it that year. They beat Kansas State. Also, Willie Fritz got that program going again, but John Sumrall may be the guy to actually take them to the next level. I'm a Sumrall believer.
I like your next notes. How does this help me predict the playoffs? 4 of the top 5 teams make it. Let's play this game. 4 of the top 5 teams make it. Which of the top 5 doesn't make it?
And wait, these are not my writing. These are Ralph Russo's writing. Yes. Just copied and pasted.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can go on recent history. 4 of the top 5 teams will make it.
Let's bring up the. Let me bring up the AP poll then real quick.
Golly, this is tough.
Where'd it go? Okay, wait. Here we go. All right.
Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama. 4 get in based on history. 1 gets out. Alabama. I think the first 3 are in. I think Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon in. It's the next 2. It's a coin toss between Texas and Alabama.
Man, for some reason I'm looking at Ohio State a little sideways. But then again, like
Are
I said,
you?
like we've kind of
Ugh.
we've kind of crowned Oregon. Um
Yeah, but the
the
Big
funny
Ten's
thing
gonna
about
get
Oregon and Ohio
rigged.
State is they show up almost every time on the top 10 position groups in the entire country.
Mhm.
So if we have to choose one of these to be out,
Mhm.
I'm going Texas.
Okay.
I'm going Texas. I don't think I think if Quinn Ewers goes down, Texas is probably fucked.
Jalen goes
Um,
down, Alabama's not fucked?
no, I
Okay.
kind of think I think Ty Simpson maybe ahead of Arch Manning, and I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend like that opinion fucking matters at all. Um,
Alright, so now 2 ranked teams between 6 and 10 get in. I'll go Penn State gets in.
Ole Miss and Penn State.
Yeah.
Ole Miss and Penn State. I'm not a believer in Notre Dame. They're actually my
Nope.
team to fall out
Not a believer in Michigan.
of the top 10. I'm kind of a believer in Michigan. That's kind of why I'm
Uh-huh.
looking at Ohio State a little sideways, but it's too bold of a play to predict. And well, actually, I am a believer in FSU, but whatever. We only get to choose two.
Mhm.
2 teams ranked between 11 and 20 will get in.
Ooh. Utah?
That would make a lot of sense. Yes.
Mhm. Ooh, the
Remember,
grouping of Missouri, LSU, Tennessee, always
remember
tough.
here, we might be out of SEC slots
I know.
unless,
That's why I'm gonna say
unless you're
Miami.
right about one of those teams getting out of here.
I'll go Utah,
Uh,
Miami.
yeah, I like that. I mean, you know
Mhm.
me. I'm all about the U.
Mhm.
Shout out my guy, Coach O. Shout out my guy, Mario Cristobal. I fucking love Mario Cristobal. I'm telling y'all, dude,
Mhm.
this is the year. He is the Steve Sarkisian of this season. And then one team ranked between 21 and 25 gets in.
Kansas. Let's go,
Can't
Jalen.
but you're getting two Big 12 teams in at that point.
Shit. I am. All right, Iowa. 10-2 Iowa. Come on. Give it to me again,
10 and
baby.
2 Iowa.
Come
Take
on,
a
10-2
bow.
Iowa. Give it to me, Hawkeyes. Oof.
Maybe like NC State finally does something in the ACC. Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't trust him. The problem is George says NC State, but the problem is so does Tommy. Every time I find that you give yourself over to NC State, they fuck you. And then when you ignore them, they end up being really good. Also, that 9-3 hump, they just cannot
Mhm.
seem to get over on.
I like it.
And then 3 unranked teams will make it. Probably a group of 5 team. A group of 5 team that would be unranked here. I mean, I don't think they're going to reward Liberty. I don't know. There's a ton.
Yeah.
There's a ton. You go with the UTSA. You go with, like I said, Tulane. You go with Texas State or whatever. SMU's maybe an unranked sleeper. Easiest Power 4 schedule out there. I
Mhm.
doubt they have enough to pull it off, but it could be on there. So just some food for thought.